Okay, here we're asked to draw the graph for this equation. In this video, I'm going to focus on using an XY table or a T table to get the graph. So I'm going to pretend like we don't know anything about the shape of this graph. So if you've studied parabolas before, you might already know what this is going to look like. But I'm going to use an XY table here because this is a nice technique for graphing, especially when you have limited idea of what to expect at the end. Okay, so let's put in a range of negative and positive x values. Maybe we'll start with a -2 here. So the y is going to be 1 minus x squared. Remember PEMDAS here, so we're going to have 1 minus, notice I replaced the x with parentheses, and in those parentheses I'm going to put the -2. I think especially for negative values that helps us with PEMDAS. So we're going to square the -2 to get a +4. 1 minus 4 is -3. So our first point here is -2, -3. And as soon as we get that point, let's run over and plot it. So we go 1, 2, negative, and then 1, 2, 3 down. We have our first point here on the graph. Okay, let's do another negative. So 1 minus -1 squared. So that's going to be 1 minus 1, which is 0. Again, the square does not apply to the negative here. It only applies to this. So our second point there is -1, 0. So we're going to go -1, and then we're not going to move vertically. So we get an x-intercept there. Okay, let's continue going. Let's just follow the pattern here. Let's put in a 0 maybe. So we'll go 1 minus 0 squared. Of course, that's 1 minus 0, which is 1. So we're going to go 0 in the x direction, then 1 in the y direction. Let's put in a +1. So we'll go 1 minus 1 squared. That's 1 minus 1. That's 0. We have another point there, 1 comma 0. So we'll go over 1, 0 vertically. And we can definitely tell this isn't a straight line. Let's do maybe one more point. So 1 minus 2 squared. So that's going to be 1 minus 4, which is -3. 2 comma -3. So we're going to go 1, 2 horizontally, 1, 2, 3 vertically, and we have another point there. Now at this point, if you feel like you don't quite understand what the graph is going to look like, go back and do more points. Put in as many x values as you need, but the square on the x there tells us that we're going to have some curvature there in the graph. Okay, so up here at the tip, it's not a straight line. Make sure you put some curvature in there. Make it look kind of nice. It's perfectly smooth up there, so it's going to be smooth. And then over here, it's going to come down and it starts to get really steep like this. This is called a parabola, and it's the typical shape of one of these degree 2 polynomials. That's a topic for a different video.